will be about writing terms of a geometric sequence. And the problem says, write the first 6 terms of the geometric sequence, with the first term 12, and the common ratio is 1/2. So in a geometric sequence, remember that the sequence gets its name because to get from one term to the next, you're using a common ratio and multiply. So when they tell us the first term is 12, well, they actually give us the answer for the first portion. A1 is equal to 12. Now, to calculate A2, since it's a geometric sequence, we just multiply to get from one term to the next. And what we multiply by is our R, or our common ratio. So in this case, our common ratio was 1/2. We'll just multiply 12 by 1/2, and we'll get to the next term, 6. And we continue in that pattern to get A3. To get A3, we would just multiply times 1/2. And we can continue on. Now, it's going to get a little tricky for A4, because now we're going to multiply by 1/2. And we would get to 3/2. 2. Now I'm going to come to the other side over here and work on A5. So we knew A4. A4 was 3/2. This is where it gets a little tricky because of these fractions, but just keep in mind every time to get to the next term, you're just multiplying by 1/2. So what is 3/2 times 1/2 for multiplication of fractions? You can just do the top times the top, which is 3, and the bottom times the bottom, which is 4. And then finally, the 6th term is 6. Well, how would you get to A6? Just multiply times 1/2. And so then again, we'd multiply fractions. The top would be 3 times 1, which is still 3, and the bottom would be 4 times 2. So that is the first 6 terms of the geometric sequence. The important thing to remember is in the geometric sequence, you're just multiplying to get from one term